yo, it's a Sugarshack. Sit back, relax, cause it's time for another podcast.
Hey, Sugarshack Music Channel, welcome back. We're doing Reggae Rise Up podcast updates, and today I am sitting down with Adam and Ben for another episode of a Sugarshack podcast. Adam is the media director. Ben is the creative director for Reggae Rise Up, and we wanted to take a couple moments to just sit down and hear the story of Rise Up, the evolution of it from their perspective, and just all of the cool details and behind the scenes that maybe you don't get to hear or really see. So welcome, guys. Super excited to have you.
Thank you so much, Bryce.
Yeah.
And shout out to Sugarshack. Love you guys. It's been an honor to work alongside you for the last 6 years now, I believe. Add in a year with the whole year off that we had on top of that. It's amazing to be back doing what we do.
I'm just going to second everything you said. It's been incredible to watch Sugarshack scale and turn everything from, distilling in a live experience and bringing it to everybody's home into then creating activations like this out of that. So it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you guys over the process.
Super rad. Thank you guys for sitting down and taking the time. It's hot, I know. And you're busy, dude.
It is toasty. I did not expect it to be this warm for October.
It's hot.
This body's built for the cold. I'll tell you that right now.
So take me back to the beginning. I mean, the kind of the beginning stages, year one of Reggae Rise Up. What was that like? Like, what's the dream? What was the beginning, or from your perspectives?
So I didn't join the team until Reggae Rise Up Florida moved to St. Pete here at Vinoy Park. The first year Reggae Rise Up took place in Tampa. It was a one-day event, and I wasn't a part of that. I just didn't know what was going on at the time. I was living in Costa Rica. But I grew up in St. Pete. So when I saw that Reggae Rise Up was happening, I reached out to Von Carrick, the founder and owner of Reggae Rise Up. Shout out to Von.
Major shout out to Vaughn.
Huge shout out to Vaughn.
Thank you, Vaughn, for doing this, man. Thank you.
And I was partners in the surf report site called Gulfster, which is still operational right now. And I utilized Gulfster as a advertising outlet for shows in the reggae rock genre as I was coming up originally in the industry, working at Janus Live as the promotions manager. So it fits like a glove, like surf culture, coastal culture, this reggae rock scene that we exist in. There's just so many crossovers that it made sense to partner up and work together. And I wanted to be able to make sure that our audiences knew about this festival. And so from that point, Vaughn asked me if I knew anybody that could help with promotional management. I was like, this is what I've done for years in this market. Even though I live in Costa Rica, I'm still very dialed in with the scene. This is home. This is where my parents live. I grew up here. And so he brought me on to help out with promotional management. That then turned into an on-site gig to step into the team as the media director. And that's actually when we linked up originally, where Sugarshack and Reggae Rise Up first linked up was that first year that I was a part of this event. And then it's just continued to snowball from there each and every year. I ended up actually moving from Costa Rica to Utah, where the Reggae Rise Up team is all from, and stepped in a deeper role with Live Net Events, the parent company. And that's kind of like my background on how I got into this team and have helped, apply my skills to being able to bring this music to more people. And I will let Ben share his insight and experience
That's killer, dude.
with Reggae Rise Up.
That's great background. That's great feedback. I mean, we need that. You know what I mean? Cool.
Yeah, so I think if we're getting into our individual history with the organization, for me, I originally grew up back east, and it kind of flips into almost the opposite coast, and I moved out to Utah, and I started on the content end, and again, shout out to Vaughn and Joey Trum. They brought me in, I believe it was 2014, when Reggae Rise Up was in Liberty Park in Salt Lake City, Utah. And from there until now, this platform, this event, this family really allowed for my development initially as an artist, as a photographer, as a creator, and then at every turn has pushed me into doing more, building better things and better relationships and better experiences for everybody. And that started on the content end, and that evolved into, as Adam said, our roles have grown, and our core team is kind of a smaller family that inevitably wear a lot of hats as we progress, and so every year I've taken on a little bit more responsibility, and then been able to help be involved with, you know, everything we've done with Sugarshack and working with great people like Adam and again Vaughn and Joey and all of our operations team, and then expand that into these actual events where you see thousands of people come together united around this same love for really great music and good vibes.
That's so awesome. You know, there's something really special about this festival that's forming. And I think that the relationship with Rise Up, you guys, and Sugarshack is special too. It's something unique in that it's growing. What do you think are the things that make it special? What is that? You were touching on a little bit, I mean, history, but more than that, there's something unique here that's happening. What do you think that is?
So I would say that what we're witnessing as it relates to this is the come up of an entire scene. Reggae music has been such a profound creative expression. It's moving music. It is rooted in concepts of unity, love, acceptance. It also has this rebellious energy to it, right? There's a lot of, like, it's rebel music, right? So it's cutting edge. This is part of the emergent culture. And I feel that, yes, the social commentary associated with, as Ben just said, the social commentary associated with the music can't be ignored. So it's important. What we're doing here is important. And I think that being on the coast, right? I mean, you can't beat this location for a festival.
Hell
right?
yeah.
And just Florida's coastal culture is such an integral part of why people live here, why people move here. St. Pete has grown massively from when I was a kid growing up. I went to Seminole High School. When I was 19, I ended up moving downtown, and I just remember watching the entire Central Block and the bar scene come up, even from when I was working at Janus. I was the promotions manager there from 2009 to 2012, and just seeing the changes from that period of my life and my career to right now and being able to come back here once a year to be a part of this festival, there's no denying the fact that this music means a lot to a lot of people, and I think that we all get to come together in connection and in community and to experience that with one another. And it literally is like walking into like a family reunion every time we come back. And this year specifically has had that vibe more so than any other year that I've ever experienced.
I feel that.
Well, we've also waited so long to finally be back here.
Yeah, if you're going to do it right, like we are today, I mean, you got to wait.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wild few years that at this point that we've been through, and every year is a little bit more special, but this year especially, coming back, being on site, seeing everybody together, being able to enjoy this after all of the time we've waited, all of the work that's gone into it. I mean, there is something truly unique about all of us being here right now, and that is just inherently special.
Totally. I love it. You know, one of the things that we were talking about, Ben, before we came on camera, is I was telling Ben, just, I mean, the event is so well organized from my perspective. You know, this is my first time, and I've been to a lot of like large scale events, but I wanted to thank you guys because I know a lot of hard work goes into this, and I know there are always day-to-day things that happen and you have to make decisions on the fly, but just as a newcomer and kind of an outside vendor coming in, thank you guys for all of your hard work. What do you think, you know, are the golden components that make an event successful, if that makes sense? Like, what are those key components that you feel like need to be in place so that the thing goes smooth?
So I think, as we were talking before, I think one of the elements of that starts with the music itself, and touching back to our previous point, the genre, the music, the artists, the whole team, or all of the teams in this genre, it's beyond all of the commentary, beyond the power of the music, beyond everything. There is an element of cohesion, there's an element of family, there's an element of unity and love, and those, you know, what we distill down to those good vibes that are so often, you know, mentioned, but it's there and it exists. And that extends outwards. And when you take, you know, everything we do, it's all a team effort. And every role, every job, every piece of the puzzle is important and is integral to the experience. And so when you start with the genre itself and then you move outward to the team, Vaughn, Joey, Ryan and Lars on operations, Brian on beverage and everything else, and Jesse Barron, shout out Jesse Barron on vendors, all the way to our stage managers and Tyler and Ricky and all of that. And the team keeps growing as and expanding outward as the production scales and as the production gets closer to gates opening and everybody coming in to enjoy it. And year round too, that core team having that care, having that intention and having that connection to what we do. And at the end of the day, we're all here, from the fan side to the crew and production side, we're all here because we give a shit. We all care about what we're doing, and we all love this music, and we all love coming together around this music. And I think that radiates out throughout the entire experience.
I like to look at what we do as a team and look at it metaphorically as like a pirate ship, right? We are on this ship, and we will be on this ship until we get to port, right? We're on it. We're not going anywhere. We're going to get it done. We're going to get to where we're going. Yeah. And Ben's right. I think that it's a family vibe. Yeah. And totally. I would even go as far to say that this extends beyond RRU. Like, obviously, like Reggae Rise Up has that, but there are other festivals in the genre, other events in the genre that same experience is had. And we get to see each other a couple times a year, throughout the entire year. All these bands are coming through. We have a venue in Salt Lake. We operate shows in multiple markets. So we're seeing each other on an ongoing basis. But this is an opportunity for all of these artists, all of this huge team that we have at this point now, this production crew, to come together and have this reunion sort of experience where bands and artists won't just come and stay for their set. They'll hang out the entire weekend.
Totally, which is so cool. I mean, I'm seeing that. Go ahead, Ben.
No, and that part of the festival experience, I mean, that's something that's just always so wonderful. And when you're strolling around the festival this morning, and I'm coming out of the media trailer and looking for my coffee, and and whether it's Jacob strolling by or DK or whoever it is, and having that that sense of reunion that you mentioned earlier, and getting to live in that. Yes, it happens a few times a year, and whether it's on this coast, in the center, or across, whether it's us, Cali Roots, wherever, having that sense of reunion at these festivals is just something that makes it all the more enjoyable.
So cool. I want to just say a huge thank you to both of you guys, because coming in as a new guy with Sugarshack, you guys embraced me right away, and I felt that. I felt the family energy and acceptance, and so thank you for really walking what you talk. And I appreciate it.
The whole crew of Sugarshack, I know that anybody that the crew brings in, they're going to be vetted, that you're going to be here ready to throw down and be a part of the experience. So we knew off the bat that you're a good guy.
Sick. Awesome.
Good people.
That's it. Last question for you guys. I know you're busy. You got to go. But, we just did Reggae Rise Up in Las Vegas, which is crazy. I mean, what was that, a week ago? It's insane. So last week, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks.
It was special.
Yeah. And now we're here. So, I mean, Rise Up is growing. Feels like every year. So what's the future of Rise Up looking like?
I'll jump on this one first. I mean, so Rise Up started in Utah. It moved to Florida. We're now in Vegas. And I think that the goal for this is to really make sure that we're doing the best possible job we can to create the best experience within these communities that we have really placed ourselves in. We want to really reach out and find all the local partners that we can and engage as many people as possible, so that way every single market that we're doing a festival event in, that it feels like this. Yeah. And I definitely believe that there's other markets that we're looking at. I think that there's a lot of opportunity. Personally, I've always seen this as a genre specific sort of iteration of what Warped Tour did. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be really cool. But we see that on the road right now with a lot of bands and the way that the core artists within the scene travel. So, I mean, the future is very open in that regard. But I think that we're going to continue to do what we do and hopefully continue to impact more people and get the music out there to more communities.
It's awesome.
I think to touch on that, we could go into this loose dive into what are these plans for here and there and everywhere. But at the end of the day, as you said it, our goal is to come in and create the best experience possible in each of these communities that we place ourselves in. And I think that goes into the immediate future for this, is enjoying this great weekend with everybody. Yeah. Beyond that, it's taking notes and it's building for the future. And from my end of things, the more interaction, the way Matt stepped up the visual arts this year, the way Jesse stepped up the vendors, there's all of these elements that we want to keep building and continue making it so that not only are we providing this place for the artists to get on stage and do their thing and share their gifts with all of us on the music side of things, but creating these interactive points throughout the entire festival grounds. And that to me at least is the immediate focus there, is making sure we're honing this in to the best possible experience it could ever be.
On that note, I do want to say, I do want to add
Correct
this
me
and
if I'm
say,
wrong.
no.
That's
I
good.
just
No,
want to
that's
add
great.
that I'm really hoping that next year we get to come back strong with a yoga program.
Oh,
Right?
dude, we were talking about that. We were
Yeah.
like, yo, yoga
Well,
would
now
be
that you said
great.
it has to
has to
happen.
happen.
Has to
yeah.
happen.
So last year we did a yoga program at the Movement Sanctuary offsite. It's difficult to be able to program that into an on-site activity before
Sure.
gates, but we're working to figure something out. Maybe start working with the city for some other locations. But it went over really, really well, and I hope that we get to do that again.
Awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, I have to say, guys, the interactive elements really brings everything together. Takes
Also,
it
shout
beyond
out to this marina out here.
Yeah. What's up,
I don't know if they can
everybody?
hear. Big love to all those boats out there.
Yeah. It's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking some time. I'm going to let you get back to work. Yeah. Adam, Ben, the crew from Reggae Rise Up, mega love. Real quick before we wrap up, we are drinking Sugarshack Session IPA from Green Bench Brewing right here in St. Pete, Florida. It is delicious. Thank you, Green Bench, for hooking us up
Gracias,
with some
Green
delicious
Bench.
beer. Make sure you go check them out. Cheers, fellas. It's on tap. It's on tap at Green Bench. Hell yeah.
It's really delicious.
It's delicious. Cheers. Great festival. Thank you, guys. That's a wrap.
Yo, it's a sugar shack. Sit back, relax, cause it's time for another podcast.
Oh, yeah. I have it taped here. Sorry, I forgot. Expendables pop-up surprise session at 2:40 here. Right here. Expendables are going to be playing here. So stay cozy. Tell your friends. See you soon.